Okay, so just coming to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you today, and just finding a little bit of length through the spine, taking a moment to close the eyes, maybe roll the shoulders away from the ears, down and back, and find the hands rested somewhere gently on the thighs or the knees. And just taking a moment to place the palms to face downwards. Today's going to be quite grounding and thinking about that earth energy, that grounding energy, as it was Earth Day yesterday. So just feeling into your sit bones, your roots. And just noticing how they feel on your mat or your floor or wherever you have placed them today. And imagine from those sit bones, those roots, actual roots extending downwards. These roots are grounding you down like roots of a tree, extending you down all the way through the floor beneath you, through the foundations of the building you might be in, into the rubble, the dirt, the earth below. And those roots keep extending down further and further through each layer of the earth, its crust, and every layer of the core, shooting down into the earth. The roots go until they reach the center of the earth, where it's believed a large, dark, pulsating crystal resides. Your roots wrap around this crystal, grounding you into the earth. And noticing how it feels to perhaps feel a little heavier, a little bit gently pulled down onto your sit bones through this earthing, grounding energy. Just keeping the length through the spine, drawing that energy up from your roots, from the center of the earth up through your long tree-like roots, into the sit bones, up the length of the spine, extending all that energy out through the crown of the head. Long, tall spines. And then just beginning to link your breath with this lovely energy that extends up and down our spine. So first and foremost, always breathing in through the nose, filling up that belly. Exhaling, allowing the belly to drop back down towards the spine. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. Nothing in the chest and all into the belly. And as you draw that energy in and up from the ground, on your inhale, filling up into the belly, imagine drawing the breath up through past the chest, the throat, and in and out to the top of the head. And as you exhale, draw it back in from the crown of the head down, cleansing you through every length of the spine, sending any unwanted energy down into the earth. So continuing to imagine drawing that energy in on the inhale through the sit bones. Filling up, extending that energy out through the crown of the head, and as you exhale, drawing it in through the crown of the head, sending it down through the sit bones. Inhale, drawing in the love from the earth, good positive energy, grounding energy. Exhaling, drawing in that energy from the universe above, sending out anything through the sit bones that you no longer wish to hold on to. Inhale, draw in the good. As As it reaches the crown of the head, letting go of anything you don't need. Exhaling, drawing in all the good from above, down the spine, sending any excess out. Just continuing with this wave, inhaling up the spine, exhaling down the spine. Remembering to fill up the belly on the inhale, drop the belly on the exhale, knowing with every breath we find that present moment. We can forget the past, stop worrying about the future, and become rooted in the now, the present. The only time we truly have, the only time we can truly make any positive changes to. So continuing this visualization of energy rising in and up from the root to the crown, and drawing back down through the root and down through the crown. Sorry, in and up through the root, out of the crown, and back in through the crown, down to the root. Linking it to the belly breath. And then just taking a moment to picture the trunk of your body like the trunk of a tree. And perhaps today your tree is a willow or a palm, something that you realize is very flexible in the wind. All trees move with the wind and with the seasons and with the weather. Strong yet flexible. Just maybe even feeling that swaying sensation. Or perhaps you feel really rooted and grounded down. With your strong trunk, your torso, your spine flexible but strong. And your tree may be as pretty and as elaborate as it wants to be up top. And strong and flexible through the body, into the sit bones, and down into the legs and the feet. Grounded, rooted, with flexibility to go with the seasons, to go with whatever weather is thrown at it. And we're just going to repeat in our heads some affirmations, some mantras. The first one, just repeating along with me in your head or out loud if you prefer. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. Last time, I am safe. My body is safe. My breath is safe. And if you spoke the mantra out loud or just said it in your head, just noticing any internal vibrations that may have brought, good or bad, no judgment either way. Perhaps they were triggering, and if they are, just simply notice that. If the heart is beating a little faster, just slowing it back down by refocusing slow, deep belly breath. And the second mantra, again, repeating out loud or in your head with me. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. Final one. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. And again, just letting that resonate in your body and in your mind. Just noticing the effect this may have had on your breath, your heart rate, your mind. Good or bad, no judgment here. And refocusing on that belly breath. And when you're ready to start to think about deepening this breath, inhaling, filling up deeply. Exhaling with a big sigh, letting go. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. One final deep inhale. Exhaling completely. And just lowering the chin to the chest. Just bowing down. Thanking yourself for your short but sweet meditation practice. And you can keep the eyes closed for the breath work, or if you'd rather start to gently blink them open, you can start to come back to the room. We're going to start with some Ujjayi breathing, so keeping it simple, keeping it calm, keeping the body and the breath calm, the nervous system calm, keeping the mouth closed, finding the tongue against the roof of the mouth, passing the breath through the back of the throat. Finding that oceanic hissing sound, that Darth Vader snoring noise, cat purring sensation, that vibration at the back of the throat. And seeing with each round if you can lengthen, still filling up the belly with every inhale. Keeping that tongue pressed with pressure against the roof of the mouth, that band of that tongue lock inside, helping with any thirst or hunger control, Also good for our thyroid, our throat area, throat chakra, communication center. Remembering that communication also means listening, not just talking. One final round of Ujjayi breath. Victorious breath. And we're going to find some short rounds of our alternate nostril breathing. So finding the right hand, placing the first two fingers into the third eye area. We can use our thumb for our right nostril and our ring finger for our left nostril so that we can swap between. So first of all, blocking right nostril, breathing in and out just of the left side, eyes closed if it feels better. And our left hand might be in chin mudra, so just that circle with finger and thumb, hands, palms facing down. So still filling up the belly on the inhale, dropping the belly on the exhale. Long, slow, deep breaths. Really good at connecting the right and left sides of our brains when we start to alternate this breath. Just releasing the thumb, taking a couple of breaths as is, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and noticing how it feels having breathed just in and out of the left nostril. Again, no judgment here, just noticing, witnessing how that makes your body feel or your mind. And then blocking the left nostril with the ring finger, breathing in and out just of the right side. Again, eyes may be closed. Breath as long as it feels comfortable into that belly on the inhale and dropping belly on the exhale. And then we're going to begin to alternate the breath. So in through the left, filling up to that third eye, out through the right nostril, back in through the right and out through the left. So we get this alternate nostril breath. So Naddi Shodna breathing, alternate nostril breath. So we're continuing for a couple more rounds, making this breath as long as it's comfortable for you and remembering to still fill up that belly. And when you are ready to finish, finishing on the left hand side. And just releasing the hand. And just taking any comfortable belly breath, any amount of inhale, exhale, just to bring your breath back to normal. We're going to roll over the knees. We're going to start to get moving, coming onto all fours. So spreading those fingers nice and wide. Bring the knees underneath the hips. And just start by simply rocking forwards and backwards, warming up the wrists. And as we start to move, just taking the first few movements over the hands, over the wrists. Maybe this ends up coming into some circles. And maybe we start to add in a little bit of spinal movement. So kind of giving you freestyle here. Maybe you start to S-shape the spine as you wriggle forwards, backwards, including those wrists and shoulders as we wiggle. Maybe you start to move more between cat, cow, where we dip the belly open through the collarbones, round through the spine, push the floor away. Exhale as you round, inhale as you lift. Maybe you combine those movements with a little bit of a figure of 8. Or maybe you prefer to move between child's pose and kind of coming into that cat position, leaning forward. So we've got many options here. Maybe you just dance between all of those options. So feeling into the body, maybe you come to a part that feels like it needs an extra little wriggle forwards, backwards, a little hold. So a bit of freestyle, a bit of intuition, following the body. Often when we work with the Ashtanga series, we tend to try to follow the breath and let the body follow our breath. But today, in this moment, just trying to follow the body and feeling into what it needs and where it would like you to go. And then starting to sit yourself back in over the heels and walk the hands forwards to start to stretch the arms. So less about our child's pose, our hips here, but more about creeping those hands forwards to stretch into the arms. The hips are of course back and as comfortable as possible. Knees might be wide here, they might be closed. You can drop the forehead down and just walk the hands to the left side of the mat. Place the right hand on top. Find a little side bend into that body. Walking the hands over to the right side, placing the left hand on top. Side bend to the other side. And walking the hands back to the center. Just start to roll the weight forwards. We're going to roll our bodies all the way down to the floor. So hips lower, arms stay straight to begin with, and then bend the elbows to brush past the ribs to roll down. Chin can touch the floor and just wriggle those hips so that the feet can come close. Tops of the feet pushing onto the floor, heels pushing in close to one another, knees lifting. Separate the heels if you need, squeeze the glutes gently. Start to roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. So just a little bit of baby cobra. And roll one cheek down to the floor. So we're going to inhale as we lift. Exhale, roll down, lowering the opposite cheek. So just taking this as big or as small as you want to make it. Keeping elbows tucked in tight. And maybe you want to take this into a little hold. So keeping either the hands here or start to reach them behind, reaching them down the backs of the legs. So squeeze the glutes, try and lift the knees. Legs can stay relaxed if that feels better for you. Maybe you'd like to lift the feet, keep breathing into those bellies. And then this time bring the hands nice and wide, goalpost arms. Bring that right knee up, left cheek to the floor, fallen tree. Just take a moment to imagine you're hugging the earth. This really does feel like I'm just hugging Mother Earth, sending all that love down. Inhale, start to straighten back out. Hands can stay wide, maybe as wide as your mats, but bring them in line with the shoulders. Start to lift them maybe a little bit higher. Stay with that first exercise. If this is too much, we're just going to come up to take seal for a moment. So a little bit higher back bend if you feel ready. Staying a bit lower down in Sphinx, perhaps on the forearms instead. And maybe just wriggle those hands slightly wider past your mat. Keep those elbows lifting high. We're going to start to roll and look under the right elbow, dropping left shoulder forwards. Inhale to lift, exhale to drop the right shoulder forwards, look under left elbow. So we start to take these lovely shoulder stretches, swapping between the two in your own time with your breath. Inhale, lift, exhale, rolling down. So finding that striking cobra, remembering to push the tops of the feet into the floor, squeeze the glutes, protecting the lower back. One more round. And when you get to the right cheek on the floor, just drop those elbows wide, coming to goalpost arms, lift the left knee, fall and tree on the other side. Just for one moment, sending all the energies of the whole front body chakras down into the air. And then straightening that leg back out. So this time with the arms either again just under the shoulders, pushing the tops of the feet into the floor, squeeze the glutes, heels together or a soft gap. We're going to start to lift again, either supported or this time try and reach arms overhead. Legs may lift, they may not, your choice. So we're just going to hold for 3, 2, 1 more deep round of breath. Amazing. Slowly lower down. Just make a little pillow with your hands and pop your forehead onto that pillow. And you can just rock side to side to release the hips, release the feet. A little bit of bow pose if you'd like. If bow pose isn't for you, you can take Sphinx again here, or we can even just stay in fallen tree if you're feeling a little bit more restorative today. Otherwise, we can come to Sphinx pose, start to draw right foot in, reach the right hand round to grab hold of the foot. Now we can stay here supported, or we can start to lift to reach the other left foot and lift fully into our full variation. So taking one leg or both, depending on what feels right for you. Try and push feet into hands, hands into feet. Feeling that beautiful shoulder stretch and open. Chest, arms, back, everything getting a beautiful stretch and work here. One more breath. Slowly lower knees down. Keep hold of feet if you can, or drop them down. Pull feet in close to the bottom. Keep one cheek down to the floor. So just enjoying that stretch down the front of the legs. You can drop the legs, of course, if you need. So we're going to go again, or come to the other side if you're just lifting the left leg this time. So start to lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, push the feet away, and then start to lift the feet, pushing the feet into the hands, finding that breath. Into the nose, out through the mouth. It may gently rock you as that belly fills and falls. One more breath. As you lower, this time drop the other cheek, keep the knees lowering to the floor, heels staying close, keep hold, heel to bottom, stretching into that thigh, the front of the thigh, and then gently release the feet down. Tuck the toes under this time, hands under the shoulders. Just start to push the body up and back, releasing into child's pose. So knees nice and close this time, heels close, and maybe you bring the head down either onto the pillow of your hands again, or those hands reach round to grab hold of the feet, dropping shoulders forward. So just taking a round of breath here in your child's pose. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Filling up completely on the in-breath and feeling that whole back of the body expand as you inhale. Exhaling, dropping over your thighs. One more round. Expanding the back of the body. Exhale, letting go. Just walk those hands underneath the shoulders, start to lift the head. Walk the hands forward into all fours. So we're going to take a little bit of core blasting here, just warming up that core. So make sure the tummy is pulled in, the spine is long. Start to take the left leg out, right leg out, left arm forwards. Heels lifting, toes are facing downwards so that we get that lovely strong line of the leg like we would in Warrior 3. And just pull tummy in, keeping spine nice and straight. So we're going to hover, hold. Start to draw the knee into the elbow, push the floor away, make some space. Hover and hold when you get there. Sending arm out, heel away. Length through the crown. Exhale as you round. Hover, hold, maybe holding breath or taking a breath. And then inhale, sending leg away. One more time. Exhale, in, hold. Inhale, send it away, lengthen and then replace those hands and knees to the floor. So extending left leg, right arm, heel lift, squeeze through the glutes. Lift through the tummy, start to exhale, round, find space, try to touch knee to elbow. Little hold, inhale, lengthen. So we're either taking the extra breath in the hold or you're exhaling, then holding the breath. Then inhaling to lengthen. So firing up that inside with this deep breath and the holding of the breath. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Replace the hand, replace the knee. Tuck the toes under, start to lift the hips. Walk those hands back to the feet. So just finding a dangling posture when we get there, just grabbing opposite elbows. Take a little sway, warm up those legs gently, soft bend in the knees. Allowing gravity to open up the whole upper back, crown leading to the floor, and then just taking a moment to find stillness in that fold, in that dangling posture. Little nod, yes or no. In through the nose, filling up, exhaling with a sigh, letting go. Inhaling deeply. Big sigh, letting it all go. With an inhale, start to lift the hands, the arms over the head, still in that clasped elbow position, coming up to stand. We're going to take a little side bend, so keeping one elbow, lifting it up and over, pulling it into that banana shape. One more round of breath. Inhale to lift to straight, exhale, pulling this knee. Excuse me. Finding that lovely side bend. Come back to center, release the arms, give those shoulders a nice big roll. And coming to the front of your mat. So finding our sun salutation. So spreading the toes, grounding through the feet, maybe doing this a couple of times just to really bind the toes into the floor. Big spread toes, little gap between the heels. Little soft bend in the knees, tuck the tailbone under, shoulders reaching down and back, fingers drawing down towards the floor. And just take a moment to close the eyes. Imagine your feet have roots now, those roots extending down into the earth, shooting all the way down to that crystal, wrapping around, grounding you down. Feeling that strength of our mountain pose. Inhale, start to lift the arms, open the eyes, extended mountain. Exhaling, diving forward through to that forward fold. Inhale, fingertips onto the floor of the shins. Exhale to fold. Step back into your plank. You can keep the knees lifted or drop them. Squeeze elbows coming all the way down for that first round. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog if you feel ready. Exhale, hips high and back into that first down dog, and we may just pedal the feet when we get there. So I'm imagining that our shoulders are away from our ears. Nod yes or no, neck's nice and loose. And just walking one heel down, then the other, gently finding length. And then finding one moment of stillness here. So just one round of breath. Arches lifting, hips lifting, tummies pulling in. Inhale, looking between the hands, bend the knees, step or jump the feet to the hands, come to that halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Sweep the arms widen up. Exhaling the hands back down. Second round, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, lifting, looking up. Exhaling, diving forward, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips or shins, long spines. Exhale, fold. Stepping or jumping if you jump, land in your chaturanga, your 90-degree elbows. Exhale to lower. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips high and back into your down dog. So separating those shoulder blades, strong spine. Finding that deep, long belly breath. Or maybe use Ujjayi breath. Either or. Always coming back to the breath. Looking between the hands, bend the knees, step or jump the feet to the hands. Come to that halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Sweep the arms wide and up. Squeeze the glutes, exhaling, hands back down. Surya Namaskar, sit the bottom back, sweep the arms forwards or biceps to ears. Check you can see the toes. We'll take an extra round of breath here in our intense, our chair posture. Tuck that tailbone under. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spines. Exhale, fold. Stepping or jumping again through to chaturanga. Exhale, lowering down. Baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips high and back, down dog. This time left foot turns 45 degrees. Bring the right foot between the hands. It will help to get it there if you need. Inhale, coming up to warrior one. Bending into that front knee. Shoulders down and back. Finding those deep, deep belly breaths. We're going to take an extra round of breath here, just enjoying the length of that back leg. On the next inhale, place the hands down to frame the front foot, lift it back, try not to scrape it on your mat, drop knees if you need, squeeze elbows into lower. Maybe cobra or up dog. Exhale, push back, down dog. Right foot turns 45 degrees, bring the left foot between the hands, because it will help if you need. Inhale, lift, arms bending into the left knee. Beautiful, strong warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Arms are lengthening towards ceilings, but shoulders down and back. Inhale, frame that front foot, lift the foot behind. Squeeze the elbows in, roll forwards over toes, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, flipping toes if you can, coming back into your down dog. So make sure that head is letting go, a little yes or no. Big exhale, releasing. Great time for that cleansing breath. Deep inhale, exhale with a sigh. Let it all go. One more round of breath. Eye gaze here is between the knees or the feet. Looking between the hands, bend the knees, step or jump the feet to the hands. Come to that halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Sit the bottom back. Sweep the arms forwards or up. Tuck the tailbone under. And we're going to stay for one more round. So get comfy in your chair pose. Pull the tummy in, draw the tailbone down towards the floor. Maybe 2 more rounds of breath. Keep breathing. And exhale to release. So step those feet just hip distance apart. Inhaling, lift to open chest. Exhale, tipping forwards from the hips. Coming to grab hold of those big toes with the peace fingers on the inside, wrapping around to make a circle with the thumb. Comes that nice halfway lift, flat backs. Exhale, drawing elbows wide, drawing chins down towards the shins. Crown of the head extending towards the floor. So really using those arms to draw the upper body down, lifting the hips, finding length, a soft bend in knees if you need. Little things to think about are your arches rolling inwards. Can you lift them up and out? Always thinking about our foundation, our feet. Untucking fingers and toes. We're going to stay for one more round. So you can lift the flat back if you want to extend. Just find some length. This time placing the palms of the hands under the soles of the feet. And just try to get the hands flat, bend the knees as much as you need to achieve that. The toes into wrist creases. Then you can drop the head and then start to lift hips towards the ceiling, but only as much as the body will allow. So again, this time less active on that upper back, but should be feeling that lovely upper back opening, that traction in that upper spine. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Another opportunity to let go of any unwanted energy, any negativity. One more round of breath. Tucking fingers and toes. Inhale, come to the halfway lift, hands on the hips, exhaling, coming all the way to stand, releasing those shoulders when you get there. We're going to come to pyramid pose. So right foot stays forward, left foot just a short step backwards. And keep those hips nice and square to the front edge of your mat, grabbing hold of the hands, wrists, forearms, reverse prayer down or up. Find length through the spine, tipping both hips back evenly, keeping that front leg straight or a soft bend if you need. So maybe coming to 90 degrees first with that spine nice and flat. Folding a little bit further over that front leg if we can keep the spine long and lengthened. So just make sure those toes are spread. We've got good foundation through all four corners of both our feet. Using those exhales to draw us into that fold a little bit further. In through the nose, out through the mouth, pushing fingertips into spine if you're in the reverse up prayer. One more round of breath. On an inhale, lift to find length. We're going to spin on our feet. Heel toes, you face on over the left leg this time, both hips pushing back evenly. Exhale as you start to fold, find length, maybe coming to that halfway, crown leading away from both hip bones, both sit bones evenly. Folding that a little bit further if we can keep spine straight. So chin leading towards the shin or staying nearer that 90 degrees. So whatever feels right for you and your body. And if your whole hips have come both sides, both of them with you, just send both sit bones away. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hands pushing together, shoulders pushing away from ears. On the inhale, start to lift. Release arms, release wrists. Come back to step towards the front of your mat. I can hear, it's 8 o'clock, I can hear clapping outside. So taking a moment to take our tree pose whilst we clap. Because, you know, it's Earth Day and it's all about trees and we may as well clap and be in a pose. So COVID-19, clapping for our NHS heroes, everyone who's working hard to help everyone else, basically. It's not just the NHS, but obviously this is the 8 o'clock hour, so clapping for the NHS and anybody else that we want to send that gratitude to, that love. Also, whilst breathing, standing in our beautiful tree poses. Great way to learn to balance, to take the mind somewhere else and try to still feel into our feet, feel into that groundedness. Maybe keeping the palms together, just noticing the tingles into the hands that that clapping has done. Our hands are an extension of our hearts. So by clapping, we are literally bringing together the love from the heart chakra, from the heart center. And just changing that energy that's inside into a sound that can be heard. Sending that sound, vibrational energy out to the world. One more round of breath, amazing balance, good job guys. So feeling that strength, that groundedness, so grounded today. And release that standing leg, give that standing leg a little roll round and swapping onto the other side. So just grounding through the toes and the other leg, start to draw, hang on, that's the same leg, start to draw the other leg up and out. So foot might be on the other thigh, it might be down near the calf, whatever feels comfortable for you. Keeping shoulders down the back, length through the spine. Imagine we're in our mountain pose, simply now we've made it a tree. by lifting one leg. And we're going to keep our hands to heart center today just to focus on sending that love energy. Maybe the hands are still tingling with energy. Maybe you can feel that lovely, beautiful energy, that heart energy. Rhythm inside the body, but also coming out through the hands. One more round of breath. Amazing work. And release. And release. Standing leg, release the tree leg. Give them both a little wriggle. We're going to take some warrior 3 for our second standing balance today. So starting at the back of your mat, we're going to take a big long step forward onto the right leg. So if long steps are a bit wobbly for you, you can take this as a short step and just start to tip and lift. But otherwise, we're going to try and take a long step. So reaching with our arms, stepping onto our right leg, bending into the right knee, sending the arms forwards, lifting the left heel up. So like we did at the beginning in our all fours position, we squeeze the hip, heel lifts up, toes pointing towards the floor. We're trying to drop the chest to find that beautiful T shape, that long line. Warrior 3. Hands might be at the hips, they may even be at heart center. So working to your variation here. Shoulders rolling down and back. Keep breathing, keep lifting. We're going to start to drop the chest forwards, lifting the heel maybe, or leaving it where it is, seeing if you can come to the floor. You can bend the knee if you need to. Start to drop the head down and lift the back foot, coming more into a standing split. Beautiful work. Keep breathing. One more breath and then release that foot down. Keep the head low. Feet can come to hip distance and come into a fold. So just dangling in this fold. Maybe the hands come to the backs of the heels or the backs of the calves. And the forearms can come to the backs of the legs. So just dangling the head, just allowing that blood to rush to the brain for a moment. Inhale, start to lift up through halfway. Hands on the hips, exhaling, coming back up to stand. So just walking your way back to the back of the mat if you're not there already. So again, taking that big launch or a smaller step if you need. So launching the left leg forwards, bend onto the left knee, reach the arms forward, send the right heel up, finding that beautiful T-shape warrior 3 on the other side. So again, remembering full version, our arms are out overhead, or we can have hands to the sides or hands to the hips, making sure our hips stay nice and square. Squeezing the glutes to lift that heel. All 5 toes facing the floor, all hands come to heart center in prayer position. Keep that eye gaze fixed, keep breathing into the belly. Beautiful work, really gets the heart rate going, so maybe having hands against the chest, you'll feel the rhythm of that heart speeding up. Start to drop the chest, bringing the hands down in front. Lifting leg behind, dropping the crown of the head, finding that standing splits posture. Breathing. One more round of breath, amazing work. Squeeze that glute a little bit harder and release both feet. And just wriggle the feet slightly wide. So heels slightly wide, heels in. Toes slightly wide, heels in. And start to drop the hips down, coming into a little squat to release. So elbows come to the insides of the knees, hands to heart center, and push the hands into the heart to lift, to find length through the spine. So if you need a little prop under the bottom or underneath the heels here, if you've got a book or anything nearby, pillow cushion, something, if you need. Otherwise, just taking a moment to close the eyes here as well. So just noticing the heart rate may have lifted. Maybe like me, a little bit out of breath. Amazing what balancing can do. So just actively slowing the breath down to calm the heart rate. And then bringing the hands behind the hips, start to drop the bottom down and extending both legs out into our seated straddle posture. So just lifting onto the fronts of the sit bones. So if you need to have a little shift forwards, if you do have a block to hand and you need to prop yourself behind the sit bones, you can. Legs as wide as feels comfortable for you. Lift through the crown of the head. Toes are pulling up if that's okay for the legs. Start to crawl the fingertips forward, folding into our seated forward fold, wide-legged fold. So we may be able to get the elbows to the floor, in which case we can just take that watching TV posture. Maybe we're a bit further. Maybe we can block, stack the fists. Maybe we're staying supported further up. So just feeling into where you are here. And if you can have the toes pulling back, actively squeezing the fronts of the thighs to bridge any gap below those knees. So finding a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more round of breath here. Inhale, start to walk yourself back up. Keep the left leg where it is. Start to draw the right foot into the inside of the left thigh. So we're going to come to what looks a bit like a seated tree pose. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head, turn towards that left leg, and we're folding forwards. And we can use the leg, maybe the right hand is over the left shin to draw the chin towards the knee and looking over that long leg. So we should start to feel this lovely side body opening on the right side of the body. Trying to actively squeeze the front of the left thigh to keep the back of the knee grounding towards the floor. Finding one more round of breath here. On the inhale, start to walk back up. Little counter twist, hand to right knee twisting to look round. Keep active through the left leg, pulling the heel away from the floor, lifting through the crown of the head in our twist. And coming halfway so that the chest stays back center, we start to take the left hand down the left leg. You might be able to hook onto the big toe. Right arm lifts up and over, finding a little C shape into the spine. So we're looking to get the ear near the knee, and our brain knows no different. So if we tell our brain, my ear is on my knee, that's where it is. So just allowing that side body to open. With each round of breath, maybe you feel you go that little bit further. Inhaling, coming back up. So just taking a moment to bring both feet together, connecting the soles of the feet. Drawing the soles of the feet open like a book, lifting up nice and tall. And maybe we stay here in our butterfly pose. Maybe we fold forwards. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Using those deep, deep belly breaths. One more round of breath. On the inhale, start to lift. Grab hold of the legs. Keep them held back to our straddle position. So we keep those torsos facing forwards. Again, we maybe come to the front of our sit bones. Maybe our straddle has widened a little bit. Lift through the crown of the head, folding forwards again one more time. Grouping those hands to help us come a little bit lower maybe this time. Pulling those heels back towards us, knees staying upright if we can. Using those breaths to soften. You can round the top of the back if we can find support for the head somewhere. Just slowing the breath down. With each round, on the inhale, start to push the floor away. So keeping the spine neutral, right leg stays where it is, start to bring the left foot in and over. So we're in that fallen tree or seated tree position, slightly different to when we do the Ashtanga variation because of our setup this time. So turning the body, twisting all the way over the right leg, start to fold forwards. Maybe you can reach round the foot. Maybe the hand comes on the outside of the right leg. That left hand coming over just gives a little bit more of a side stretch. So maybe we are here, drawing chin towards the knee or the shin, finding length, seeing if we can keep those toes pulling back active on the top of the thigh to bridge the gap underneath the knee. Using the breath, slowing it down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more round of breath here. Inhale, start to walk up, taking that little counter twist, right hand to left knee, lifting through the crown of the head as we turn. Keep the right leg active here, lifting away from the floor. Tall spines, tummies working to keep length through the spine. One more round of breath in our twist. Coming back to center with the torso, sending the right hand down, the right leg grabbing hold of the toes or the thigh or the shin. Left arm peels up and over, making a C shape, opening that side body. So just allowing that body to open, that space between the ribs and the hips. Again, imagining our ear is on our knee if it's not there already. One more round of breath. On the inhale, gently coming back up. This time, draw both feet in. We're going to cross the legs at the center, just trying to stack ankles, finding that easy cross. The right leg might start in front. Inhale, lifting through crown of the head. Exhale, tipping forwards, keeping both sit bones grounded, trying to find a little hip stretch. If there is a way to, again, just prop the hands to support the head, or maybe the backs of the hands are on the floor, maybe the chest is all the way down. If you're not feeling anything here with that right leg, just give the hug in, lift, and pull that foot onto the left hip crease to make it into that half lotus. So just slightly more of a half lotus variation if you need more into the hip. So supporting the head somewhere, slowing the breath down, keeping both sit bones pushing back onto the floor. One more round of breath. Pushing the floor away to lift the head and just give those legs a little swing and swap so that the left leg comes in front. We stack the parallel shins or ankles in line for easy cross, or hug that left knee, give it a little pull up and over to make yourself into that half lotus, that seated half lotus if you want more opening in the hip. Keep both sit bones grounded, creeping forwards, folding, trying to fold at the hips so we get the spine nice and long and flat. So it doesn't matter if we don't support the head, as long as the crown is reaching forwards so the spine stays flat, and we push backwards to keep the sit bones grounded. If we can comfortably stay here, then comfortably supporting head and the backs of the hands or on the stacked fists to keep length through the spine. One more round of breath. Letting go of anything that's gripping and holding on. Starting to push yourself back up, walking those hands back to the legs. Give those legs a little release. Just send them out in front. Give them a little wriggle. We're going to take one little stretch before we come to a couple of yin postures. So inhale, sweep the arms forward. Find loads of length, lifting the hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, folding over, grabbing hold of the tops of the feet. Now, if that's not accessible, bend the knees as much as you need to get those feet, and then start to slide the heels away. So as we stay just for a few moments, just for 3 deep rounds of breath, just starting to squeeze the thighs again, lengthening through the backs of the legs, slowing the breath down as we come to the yin phase. The end of our yang phase has been slower and more deliberate anyway, so very much slowing everything back down. Very grounded as we've done all the seated postures this afternoon or this evening. So slowly walking the hands back in and up. So 2 options for our yin poses. Maybe we start to hug the knee in. and drop the knee wide. So we can take a yin posture where we are going to hold. Now there's a bit more yang involved because we need to hold and pull foot in towards the armpit. Otherwise, we're going to take cow face pose. So options here, keeping the bottom leg straight, stacking the knees in line and staying here. And we can have that folded forward, supporting head on the fists. Or we start to bend that bottom knee. We're trying to get the legs parallel in line, knees stacking. It doesn't matter if they're not completely stacked, but working towards that and sitting both sit bones back down. So maybe we end up in cow face pose upright, or we can work to fold, again supporting with hands. No need for props. Maybe you're just here keeping the spine straight. Maybe you're folded further forwards all the way down. So finding what feels right for you. And we're going to hold these for just a few minutes. So taking a moment to get comfy, making any last wiggles, trying to support wherever you are. So fixing the eye gaze, or perhaps softly closing the eyes. Just slowing everything down, including the breath, including the mind. And knowing that with our yin postures, if something becomes painful, we must move. We must find a comfortable position to be in with as little effort as possible. If it's just discomfort, we can breathe through this discomfort. So using those deep belly breaths, or the Ujjayi breath from the beginning of the practice. In through the nose, filling up, exhaling, letting go. And maybe you can sink a little bit further into this posture for the last moment. Fully surrendering, fully letting go. And then very slowly starting to lift the head, lift the chest, walk yourself back up. And if your legs are fully crossed, you may need to just take a moment to unravel the legs. Bring the feet wide, knees wide, and drop both knees to one side and both knees to the other. Windscreen wiping, releasing both hips, both legs. We're going to come on to the other side, of course. So maybe taking the straight leg option, stacking those feet in line. If you did take the other option where we cradle, you can cradle here on this side, holding. Or we're taking more of a full variation by bending the bottom leg so that both legs are in line, the hip bones grounding, seat bones, grounding onto the floor. So noticing this side, knowing that maybe this side is tighter, maybe it's looser. So working with it, maybe you go further into this. Maybe you have to use the breath a little bit more to work further onto this side. So wherever you are on this side, letting go. Finding those deep belly breaths to help you just slow everything down. Let go of any gripping, any tensing in the hips especially. Maybe even the thighs hold on here. And with our new moon energy coming through, maybe now's a good time to set an intention for, it could be for the next few days, it might be even for the month ahead, your choice. Good energy to set an intention, and your intention doesn't have to be grand or detailed. It may simply be doing more yoga. It may be remembering to belly breathe once a day. It may be as simple as reading a book, spending 5 minutes to learn something new every day. Whatever your intention is for this month, just taking this moment of stillness and quiet I will give you to think of it, and pledge to yourself to follow through. And remembering with the same breath of setting an intention that from earlier on, we are enough, we have enough, and we do enough. So when you're ready to start to think about lifting up very carefully, walking yourself back up to straight, start to help that top leg off and round. Bring the feet nice and wide again, spending a moment or two just windscreen widening the legs. And now's a great time if you've got blankets, slippers, jumpers, anything to grab hold of to be a little bit warmer in your Shavasana. Just grabbing that now. And finding any last movements you might like to make for making yourself comfortable in your Shavasana. So maybe you would like to take a bit of happy baby. Maybe you'd like to just roll yourself down and find your most comfortable position. So when you get to your Shavasana, just remembering legs nice and wide, arms wide and away from the body, palms facing upwards. Heels are rolling in, toes rolling outwards. And lying on your mat, feeling every part of the back of your body that's gently pressing into the floor. Remembering the floor, the extension of the earth below. And as you feel into all that beautiful earth energy, allowing that energy to come in and up through the back of the body, through the back of the heart. As you inhale, feeling that heart center open wider, drawing the energy in and up. As you exhale, letting go, sinking back into the earth. Inhaling, filling up deeply, exhaling, letting go completely. And I'm just going to leave you to enjoy those last few moments of stillness, comfort and quiet. Just finding your relaxation.